Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This once again is Professor A.B. Adeloye, Department of Physics, University of Lagos, bringing out his personal testimonies. The first testimony today is that of a woman who's vulva. Vulva is a nicer word for that private part of the woman. So her vulva stank terribly for 3 years. And a pharmacist member of my Phytoscience family brought her case. And in just 1 week of Phytoscience products, all the odor was gone. This was a woman that visited so many hospitals, had so many tests, but nothing worked for her. Just 1 week of the stem cell product penetrated expired, and she was completely fine. Second testimony is on a colleague of mine in my faculty who could not turn a screw, who could not turn the cap of a bottle with her hand because of the severe pain she had in her hand. And she also had a terrible back pain. So she signed up because of the pain she was experiencing. And in just 1 week, all the body pains gone. And then right in front of me, she opened the bottle, said, I could not do this. But she didn't tell me that when she was getting the products. She only told me she could not open the bottle when she was giving her testimony. The third testimony, a woman got products for her grandmother. Severe knee pain. She has suffered for so many years. Back pain as well. In just 1 week, the knee pain was gone. The woman called her grandmother. What about the back pain? Grandma replied, back pain? That one is gone too. Grandma, complete relief. Just a matter of 1 week. Another testimony, this woman kept reading my testimonies because she was on my broadcast list and kept praying that her own miracle would come. She didn't have the money to get the products for some time. Eventually, 1st of April, she got the products. And in 12 days, indeed 11 days, because she gave her testimony on the 12th of April, all body pains gone, chest pain gone, shoulder pain reduced. Indeed, shoulder pain gone. Even the shoulder pain was gone. And the headache, as I said, completely gone. You need to hear the despair in her voice when I spoke with her, but she started taking products. Such is the miracle you get when you take Phytoscience products. Pain is due to inflammation. Inflammation is the body's natural way of taking care of injury. What causes pain? The body senses injury somewhere. Injury could be maybe physical injury or perhaps an antigen coming into the body, bacteria or virus. Could even be something as unearthly difficult as just pollen or dust particles, which ordinarily should not cause problem. But the body's immune system senses there's a problem and then sends an army over to go and fight the real or imagined issue. What happens is that the blood vessels will dilate, allowing the cells of the immune system to infuse that area. Some of these immune cells will die in that process. So many things involved. Let me just make it simple. So that could cause swelling. Inflammation will cause swelling. The swelling pressing down on nerve ends will make you suffer pain. So what our products do is take away the inflammation so that the immune cells don't have any battle to fight anymore. That is why you see that the pain that you have been experiencing in so many parts of the body get resolved almost immediately. That is, the one in the knees, the one in the arm, the one maybe somewhere else in the body, because inflammation is being taken care of in all parts of the body simultaneously. You begin to feel some relief. If it's the knee, you can get relief in just a day or two. But in some cases, that joint has to be regenerated. So that's the difference between Phytoscience products and other products, including orthodox medications. Those ones are trying to reduce the pain, to deaden the pain. But Phytoscience products will regenerate that particular joint. So some people, it might take a longer period of time, but eventually the knees will be regenerated fully, and then a permanent solution to arthritis. Orthodox medicine says there is no solution for chronic inflammation. That's because it knows little about regenerative medicine. But let me not say knows so little. Orthodox medicine also has its own pluripotent stem cells, but that is induced pluripotent stem cells. But the doctors are scared to use them because they're not too sure they won't turn to tumor inside the body. And what they are using is just animal stem cells. Animal stem cells are so low in capability compared to plant stem cells that even in 1,000 years' time, I make bold, even in 1,000 years' time, orthodox medicine cannot catch up with Phytoscience products, because our products will ginger your body into producing its own stem cells. That's amazing. What that means is that the stem cells will be seen for what they are, part of your body. So there will be no need for the immune system to attack them. When you take stem cells that are not yours, human stem cells, not only do they have lower capability, your immune system will begin to see them as enemy cells and start attacking them. So you have to take immunosuppressants for life. And that will lay you open to opportunistic infections. That's the case of a man who underwent kidney transplantation and then was struck down by an infection and killed by an infection that would not have taken his life if he had not suppressed his immunity. The other day I was on Facebook and a man was talking about having to take 15 medications every day because he underwent organ transplantation, kidney transplantation. This man would not have needed that transplantation if he knew about Phytoscience drugs. Not only will the kidneys have been regenerated, the liver, the heart, the lungs, and every other organ inside the body, and every tissue, every cell in the body would have been regenerated. That is the beauty of the miracle that came from Weber biochemistry of Switzerland in the year 2008. Healthcare has never had it so good. As if God saw the world was suffering too much from health issues, I tried to send Phytoscience products to the world. One thing I've always known is that when the world is ripe for any particular invention, God will make it available. 2008, Phytoscience products became available because it was time for man to get relief from all his health issues. Where else do you get a range of products that take care of all health issues. I knew instinctively that the time was coming when a single range of products would take care of all health issues. But indeed, I never knew it was going to be in my own lifetime. You can imagine how shocked I was, positively shocked, in 2020, June 16, 2020, when I Googled stem cells while at a Zoom meeting on Phytoscience. That was supposed to be my last Zoom meeting. I was going to tell the one who invited me, Mrs. Anka Ravel, whom I had known for over 20 years, that I was no longer interested in attending Zoom meetings. After all, I had attended 3. What else does he want from me? It was someone I would not have said no to. But I suffered sinusitis for over 40 years. I had been praying to God to help me out because my gums were going. I already had gum disease. I was already Googling life without teeth. Herbal medicine could not help. Orthodox medicine has always said there's no solution to sinusitis. And when the solution came, I almost threw it away. But God that provided the solution also nudged me to Google stem cell. What I saw in 5 minutes was so amazing. I stopped the wonderful one presenting that and said, if I have not even said up to 5% of what I read in the last 5 minutes, I'm signing up tomorrow. I had some money, which we used to buy shares on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange the following day. I quickly diverted the money into signing up a gold package that turned platinum automatically. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the greatest investment I ever made. That's another thing about Phytoscience products. It's not just about the health aspect of it. That simple, small money investment became the greatest investment because whatever money you get from Phytoscience as a member, once you sign up, is like a wolf money. The products you are getting right away are in excess of what you paid. So you already have some profit from just signing up. Whatever comes after that, the bonuses in signing people up, will just be more and more and more and more and more profit. This is not a business where you are going to put your money and then be worried about anything. Because, in fact, whatever business I'm going to do now is Phytoscience. I want my money immediately. I'm not going to wait for a day or two. Phytoscience pays you immediately. The reference bonus drops the moment you click OK. I know it's not about the business aspect of it, but I just had to tell you because that is part of my own personal testimony. That is, I divided the money that I was going to buy shares with into the greatest investment ever made. My saliva was reddish brown by the time I came across Phytoscience. My mouth was no longer producing enough saliva. Ginger, garlic, sugar-free gum only give me, even lime and lemon, only give me maybe 5 minutes of relief. You can imagine what it felt like not to have saliva in your mouth. By the time I woke up in the morning, my tongue was sticking to my upper palate. My cheeks sucked in because there was no saliva in my mouth. And bacteria saw my mouth as its most favorite playground. Because saliva is what helps with bacteria. You don't have saliva, your mouth will be turned into, should I say, the battleground or the playground of bacteria. In just 4 days, my reddish brown saliva became normal. I could not believe it. I spat and spat and spat, but it was normal saliva. My left eye that was long-sighted showed signs of seeing close range. And just within a month, my left eye saw as clearly as my right eye. That is the miracle of Phytoscience products. Now, I have to also tell you about my gums. Anytime I went for scaling and polishing, I know I mentioned it too. By the time the man put the instrument, man in charge put the instrument on my teeth, it was blood, blood, blood. I bled terribly. But in just 2 months, going back to him, 2 months of Phytoscience products, not a single drop of blood. He was shocked as I was. This man became my best friend because I was going for cleaning and polishing every 2 or 3 months, by which time my mouth was already very, very dirty. The day I went there, he told me that he was busy, he had so many people to attend to. I left dejected. That was how bad it was. 2 or 3 months that cleaning and polishing. But for many years now, let me just say since 2020, when I came across Phytoscience products, I've had scaling and polishing only twice or thrice. That's because it's just now a routine thing for me. Usually you should go for scaling and polishing every 6 months. So I just go there to have it cleaned, to have my teeth cleaned. It's not as if I have any issue when it comes anymore. Even my teeth that were chipping, the caps of the front teeth were just chipping. I was crunching and swallowing them. Stopped because even my teeth were regenerated. My sinuses was so horrible that I will be feeling feverish for 6 weeks, 2 months, and the discharge from my nostril was very thick, brownish yellow, or yellowish brown, whichever one you want to put it down to. It was so thick that it got my nostrils inflamed because I had to blow with force and came out with blood because the inside of my nostrils could not handle the force with which I was blowing my nose. And then I was scared the next time I was going to need to blow my nose again. This thick, horrible smelling stuff from my nose persisted for weeks, And fever was low-grade fever. Temperature was not so high, but all my joints will be feeling that pain. And this went on for years and years and years. But ever since 2020, June, when I started taking the products, I've not had that fever. Okay. What I feared most in my life that time was sinusitis fever. That is why at times I just classify my age into two, my lifetime into two. Before sinusitis, after sinusitis. My tongue was heavily laden with whatever color you can think of, brownish, greenish, and I had to scrape my tongue with a stick. Several times a day. My mouth was very bitter because of postnasal discharge. Even when I took an X-ray in 1988, you could see the whitish stuff inside of me that came from postnasal discharge. So all these things was inside me and it had to come out. It was coating my tongue. And not just that, because of the postnasal discharge and what was coming from inside me, I had to use the true stick several times a day. Several times a day. In addition to brushing twice a day. Brushing twice a day for me was a necessity. I had no choice. Why some people will brush just once a day. The advice is you should brush twice a day. Mine was not just an advice. If I did not brush my teeth twice a day, I was in big trouble. If I needed to leave the country and I did not go with to stick, it would take only 2 days for my mouth to be completely destroyed. That is, if I get to the airport and discover that I did not pack to stick, I have to abort that trip. Otherwise, my mouth will be history. The story of my sinusitis can feel a big book. Is it the scratchy eyes that you talk about? Because sinusitis will affect your eyes, your nose, your ears, and your mouth. You are the best customer for the ENT clinic. And those are the clinic we are going to be there for the rest of your life. Don't miss your clinic days. Take your medications. And then, if they are kind enough, they tell you, I hope you know we are just managing it. As that young man told me of the Lagos State Hospital, ENT section. Oh, you know, we are just managing it. I told you, yes, I knew as far back as 1997 that sinusitis, according to Orthodox medicine, has no cure. Because I was at UCH for Bina. That's a kind of operation. The bone is drilled inside each of your nostrils. That's a horrible experience. And then plastic is inserted so that it does not gum together. Severe headache and pain for 2 days. And if you don't inhale enough steam, you have to put the plastic back in your nostrils. Okay. Sinusitis is a horrible problem, a horrible health issue. And through Phytoscience products, I overcame sinusitis. Not just that young, but indeed, I think that God makes you to pass through some health issues so that others can also benefit from your experience. So many people have overcome sinusitis through Phytoscience because of my experience with that horrible ailment that might not kill you, but make you suffer and make your body degenerate over a period of time. Because I already had heavy eye bags. You'll be scratching the eyes, you'll be enjoying it, but you know that you are destroying your eyes and the tissue around the eyes. You are enjoying the scratching. But in fact, what helped me a few times was dousing the eyes with diluted urine, because I would have no respite until I applied diluted urine. So we'll keep it short. I know this session has been a little bit longer because I told you more about my sinusitis issues. We keep it short so that people can just pick the testimonies and make use of them. It's our job to make life easier for everybody on the surface of the earth, and I keep saying it until Phytoscience products are in every home in the world. We won't relent. And I won't even relent, even if we have Phytoscience products in all the homes in the world, because these products saved me from a life without dangers, without my teeth, saved me from life without my teeth. And I have well over 3,000 personal testimonies. In fact, I've stopped counting. Hundreds of names you can call for those who have benefited from Phytoscience products, and whose family members or friends have benefited from Phytoscience products. 99% of them are not members of Phytoscience. Indeed, the woman who was changing her clothes 10 times a day because of fibroid bleeding was okay within just 11 days. January 1st, 2022, her mother told her to come back home somewhere in Akoko, Ondo State. Her case was brought to me by my old-time friend and secondary school classmate, a cousin to the poor woman. And within those 12 days, her fibroid dropped off. And it took 11 days for the bleeding to stop completely. And she returned to Lagos. The other case of fibroid, this woman underwent surgery. And then anytime she had stomach pain, which was very frequent, her pee would be like the color of mold. She called her cousin, who happened to also be a secondary school classmate. Brother, I'm dying. And that one got in touch with me. And we sent products to her, got to her in bundle. And as soon as she took the detoxifier, he went to pee, and her urine was normal. In no time at all her health issues, the stomach pain, the color of urine that is like mud, all stopped. And this woman's life was transformed within a month. Such is the miracle of Phytoscience products. At times I want to just give just a few testimonies, but many more are hiding in the background. So pardon me if this session is a little bit longer than usual. Once again, Professor Adeloye, Department of Physics, University of Lagos. You're going to hear more of my testimonies, my top load of testimonies very soon. For now, you have a wonderful